Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing the Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. This one is a community cast sent in by Zachbsain, which always sounds like he's compensating for something. Are you sane? I'd be sane. Okay, Zach. Cool. Well, we're, bring the kids back early, please. Anyway, so yeah, here he's got Chaos, and he's against Vampire Coast. Not Vampire Coast, Vampire Counts, the other VC. And they're actually played by Hit by a Tree, who won the last, what's it called again? I've forgotten. Challenge of the Old Ones, that's the one. Sotek's Tabletop Tournament. So yeah, he won the last one of that, and Zachbsain is up against him. So this is pretty bad for him, I've got to say. This is Chaos we're talking about, against Vampire Counts. Chaos don't win this. They really don't. It's not good for them. So here you can see a Chaos Giant. I love a Chaos Giant here. Really good leadership, and they hit so goddamn hard. But they do eventually get dragged down. Because, yeah, 30 armor is not a lot. It's not a lot. Here, though, JanetOnOccasion, really good for chasing things down, which is nice. So this guy, he can just sit and babysit and smack anything that comes near for huge damage, and the Shaggoth can actually go on the attack, which is pretty nice. So cool to have a bit of both. Also, Archeon here. On Dorga, usually I just stick him on foot, because he's a smaller target. He's harder to hit. That's often how I play it, but actually, it makes sense to have him on a horse if you want to use him aggressively. If you've got an army that sort of is more about chasing things, then yeah, you want him on a horse so he can back up his boys. So here he's also got the Aspiring Champions. They're going to keep leadership up. You know, they got that encouragement aura, which is rather nice. Demon Spew for poisoning things and cutting through fodder very, very quickly. The Mirror Guard for having 58 melee defense. I mean, that's why you bring them, isn't it? 100 armor's nice too, especially against just a ton of sort of low AP infantry. You know, it's very nice. Also Chosen with halberds and Chaos Warriors with halberds. So, yeah, very sturdy. Very sturdy, but somehow he still managed to squeak out a bit of extra money and get a unit of Marauder Horsemasters and a unit of Marauder Horsemen, which are also super useful here. So his opponent, Hit by a Tree, Blood Knights. I really like Blood Knights here. I think they're a lot of fun. They're kind of good at sort of denial. Because they have a good good mass across the board, right? You know, a whole unit is better than just one guy. One guy, like the Terrorgeist, you can kind of walk around the Terrorgeist. It's very difficult to walk around Blood Knights, so they're very good for sort of denial of movement, which is really nice. And there's also a Claw of Nagash. Invocation heck on him already. You can see he's taking a ton of damage. That's one fireball. One very juicy fireball from Archeon. Looks like breath attacks are coming down, and, that's normal. That's normal. There are some Fellbats here as well, usually for chasing off things like these Marauder Horsemen, Horsemasters, but he is keeping them hidden. He is not going to reveal them yet. He's going to bring them out when he really needs them, knowing that the counters will probably have been wasted, because when you see this army, you don't think, oh, I bet he's got some horsemen somewhere. This is all super elite stuff. So, ton of zombies in the front line, and a load of Grave Guard. So the Grave Guard, good anti-infantry, but not necessarily the best sort of anti-armor unit, so that's pretty good. All the damage is really going to be from the Claw and Nagash. All this stuff is just to bog things down. The Claw and Nagash will kill the infantry, while the Terrorgeist and Manfred von Karstein, here he is, he's going to kill everything, along with the Terrorgeist and also the Blood Knights. That's their job, catch things out with the Blood Knights and then jump on top of them with the Terrorgeist and Manfred, and they can do a lot of work, an awful lot of work. Also, he's got Spirit Leech and Soul Blight, Invocation and a heck. He can raise dead. Master of the Black Arts means he can just keep getting magic back. He'll also get magic when he's in combat. He's an absolute nightmare. He just gets so many winds of magic to use. So, speeding things up. You can see another tasty fireball coming in, and the Claw and Nagash is just about all healed up, and suddenly it isn't. Not as good hit as the first one. Also, the first one was overcast. You don't really tend to need to, because it's only 40 armor on the Claw and Nagash, which isn't a lot, so you don't need to overcast it usually. So everything's coming in here, trying to get through the zombies nice and quickly, and we're going to see another breath attack coming in for the Chaos Warriors with halberds. You can see it's going to be sideways, but Zachbsain very cleverly just turns them around. And you see it breaks up the formation, and it presents less of a target for that breath attack, so they're actually pretty good. They've got off pretty much scot-free there, which is pretty fantastic. So yeah, very little damage has been done here. The Mortis Engine has taken some damage. The Demon Spew taken a little bit. I think that's from the other breath attack. So nothing major just yet. Another fireball coming in, and another pretty good hit on the Claw and Nagash. Of course, it will keep healing, but it's going to get near its healing cap, and it means that it can't really risk as much. If there's plenty of room to heal, he can run in, and knowing that as long as he can just sort of escape, he'll be fine to heal up and come in again. But that healing cap is going to start approaching very, very quickly after, all the sustained fire. So now, units are starting to push in. You can see the Shaggoth is going straight for the Claw and Nagash. He's just running straight in, trying to get some good hits on this guy. The more damage you can do to it, the less safe it is to come in. And that Mortis Engine effect is crippling for all these super heavily armoured units, because it doesn't discriminate, it doesn't care if you're armoured or not. But this is also super risky, because the Shaggoth is now kind of on his own. So you can see the dragons are coming in for him. They are coming in for him, and he is on his own. And over here, big old Invocation of Heck just to keep all the fodder going. And the Blood Knights are moving around. They're going to wheel around here. And the Demon Spew right in the thick of everything. But they are chopping through a lot of units, which is pretty nice. So here the Giant has managed to push through, as has Archaon, who seemed to actually get punted a little bit into this engagement by the Chaos Giant, which is really nice of the Chaos Giant to do that. But look at this, the damage being done to this Dragon Ogre is ridiculous, even with Cascading Fire Cloak. This isn't looking great. You know, the Terrorgeist and Manfred just keep landing these great hits. And it looks like they're going to summon more zombies in the way just to keep this stuff bogged down. Here though, the Blood Knights charging into the Chosen with Halberds. I'd have just left the Chosen with Halberds. Honestly, leave them to it. Save them till last. You know, just don't bother. Hit with breath attacks, but these Blood Knights could have wheeled up and around, got into here, and that Shaggoth would have been dead by now, I think. There'd have been no two ways about it, you know, he would have been dead if he got caught out. But the Blood Knights are taking way more damage than they need to, and I don't know if that's sloppiness or if he had a purpose for it, but running Blood Knights in sustained combat against Chosen with Halberds just never seems like a good idea to me. So over here you can see the Horsemen have come in now. And that is because the bats here, which I can't really click on because there are so many banners in here, there are bats in here. They're in the fight now. They're not going to be able to chase these guys off. Now the Terrorgeist is coming in for them, but he's going to suffer a lot of damage from all these units. He only has 80 armor, which middling armor, but against huge weapon strength, you know, huge missile strength from these guys. It's going to be great, but it looks like he did try and run away a little bit too much. Didn't get a concerted effort to do the damage. He's too preoccupied over here, where his Giant and the Shaggoth are getting absolutely decimated. He's trying to get on the Claw of Gash, but they're just not landing their hits right now. And Manfred is coming in for another go, trying to break the Shaggoth. A nice attack in the rear, and his friends can't really come to help him because he's kind of in the way. He's kind of in the way. Nice little breath attack hitting that Chaos Giant, very, very deadly. And the Shaggoth is suffering a lot. This Claw of Gash is somehow still in the fight. He's still going. Now a Spirit Leech on the Chaos Giant to help whittle him down. And that Giant's going to be in a pretty precarious situation. But Blood Knights, they did pull out for a bit, but now they're back fighting Chosen with Halberds again, which is a real waste for these guys. It's keeping the Halberds busy over here, but the Halberds can't push through all these units. There's too much fodder in the way, so they couldn't join this fight anyway. You know, the Blood Knights could have been used to better means, I think. So over here, Claw of Gash finally looks like he's about to go, but this is looking bad for the Giant and the Shaggoth. You really want these guys to take out the Claw of Gash nice and quickly and still be strong enough to fight something like the Terrorgeist or Manfred, but right now they just don't seem to be. They really don't. That's the Claw of Gash gone. Explodes. I love how they explode like that. You see all the... oh, look at all these little ghosty bits just fading away. It looks awesome. So here, this is terrible. This is terrible. You can see the Terrorgeist doing a ton of work here, and the Shaggoth already running away, and the Giant is almost dead, being chased off by the Terrorgeist. Over here, Archaon did run out to try and get on top of Manfred, while Manfred was busy trying to deal with the Horsemen. Another Fireball coming in for him. Another... alright here, not great, could have been better, but these Blood Knights are here. And now I think ignore Manfred and just go for the Blood Knights. Bail out Archaon. He's using Cascading Fire Cloak to keep himself going, and Foe Seeker keep his vigor up. But I think these guys could afford to take out these Blood Knights very, very quickly, and then start chasing down Manfred. So here, I actually thought, the first time I looked at this, I thought they were just going to charge, just to trigger that crumbling. But no, that was a mistake. He was actually chasing Manfred. But I think they could have done that. I think they could have just charged in, free up Manfred nice and quickly. Would have given him extra maybe 500 health from this engagement. He could have moved on. So another Fireball coming in, another good hit on Manfred. So the damage is starting to add up quite a lot. Still a huge amount of Graveguard in this fight, though. Some zombies are starting to fall away, but I mean they're just zombies. Fresh Graveguard here, they can start running in, doing what they can, and Manfred is going to be able to deal with the Shaggoth pretty happily, I think. So yeah, it's going to be tough for him. So, Horsemasters are pushing in as well. Archaon, he's just waded in. He's just waded right in to this group. Breath attack straight down. Always want to make sure you're doing that at a slight angle so it can sweep across the line. But still does some good damage. That's free damage against those guys. Fireball totally misses. He was barely moving. Come on, Archaon, what are you doing? Anyway, over here you can see the Shaggoth has broken once again and is gone. So that's the Giant gone, that's the Shaggoth gone. It's Archaon against two not hugely healthy, but fairly healthy big stompy monsters that can do a lot of damage to him. And it looks like the infantry is doing pretty well here, but I mean the Chaos Infantry is holding, and that's what it needs to do. It just needs to hold until more of the battle is wrapped up. You know, ideally there'd be a mortis engine here getting rid of them, but the mortis engine did finally go. It did come at a pretty huge cost, but it has gone. And Archaon hasn't really been the target of these guys' affections. Another fireball coming in, and Manfred is suddenly looking quite low, quite close to his healing cap too, and these guys still have javelins left. They're still putting some work in. Here you can see the Terrorgeist is coming in to try and deal with Archaon, and it does look like the Chaos Warriors are very close to terrifying. Very close to terrifying indeed, but the Chosen with Halberds have managed to peel out and get on top of this, and that is going to be painful. So, another Cascading Firecloak and Slayer of Kings. That puts his weapon strength up quite high at 835. 594 of that being armor piercing. It's pretty good. Couple of hits on Manfred and he's basically dead. Another one last hit and dead. He's dead. Manfred's dead. Terrorgeist also just dead. Wow, Archaon. Alright, you've got this. Yeah, you've got this. That's terrifying. That is absolutely insane. Yeah, he just killed everybody. Just killed everybody. Pretty fantastic. Pretty fantastic. Also, stand your ground. Sorry, stand or die. That's going to give him that extra melee defense as well. So he's going to be able to hold out against all this nonsense. The Chosen with Halberds, same 86 melee defense for them. They're going to be able to hold out against this stuff for a very, very long time. Especially with 120 armor. And yeah, 120 armor. They'll be fine against this stuff for quite some time. Javelins are just going to keep getting thrown at these Graveguard. And after that, I mean, it wouldn't be that strange just see the Horsemasters and the Marauder Horsemen just charging, you know, in and out, just doing some extra damage to these guys, because there's no more healing to be had for any of these units. So things are looking a bit rough for what remains. So it won't actually be long before hit by a tree calls it a day. So here another Cascading Firecloak, and it makes Archaon next to impregnable. Impregnable. No. Impregnable. There we go. Impregnable. See, now it just doesn't sound like a word. It doesn't sound like a real word. It's got a lot of armor. It's hard to hurt him, is what I'm saying. So anyway, yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I think Blood Knights, I think we're thrown away a bit. But I'm not sure Hit by a Tree expected it to turn out this way. To be honest, that was kind of crazy. The fact that the Giant and the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth just took an unbelievable amount of hurt early. Usually that's enough to pretty much guarantee your victory. I think the Claw and Gash could have avoided to slip out of combat a little bit earlier against these guys. Maybe he could have survived and helped deal with the last of the infantry. Because, yeah, I mean, with Manfred, with the Terrorgeist, and also with the Blood Knights, that I think should have been used to defend the Claw and Gash. That's one thing that I think they're much better at than, say, the Terrorgeist. The Terrorgeist and Manfred, they're both great at punishing someone for chasing, but they're not very good at defending necessarily. You know, unless they can kill the target, you're still going to see a Claw and a Gash take a lot of damage for any of the big heavy hitters that Chaos can bring. But I think Blood Knights, they're just perfect for just choking up that spot and allowing, you know, Manfred the Terrorgeist to get in there and do the work. You know, the Blood Knight's just a great roadblock, and they weren't being used, and you know, as that, and I think that cost him the game. Honestly, I think that was the main factor. You know, if the Blood Knights were being used to help stop these guys from chasing the Claw and Gash, the Claw and Gash could have helped sap the life out of anything that was left, and that would have been a big deal. So that's my thought on it anyway. But great to see Chaos win for once. It's rare that you see Chaos win this matchup, so it's always a pleasure. So yeah, well played to both these guys. Zachbsain, yeah, again, sounds like you're compensating. I know you spelled sane differently, but that could just be another symptom. I know, I really shouldn't be calling people that send me replays crazy, but I mean, I've got to. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.